Oh, come on. I know there are a lot of people on the call. Give us a guess.
And remember, okay, confidence, confidence.
Yeah, are you seeing them now too? Character, confidence, yeah.
I have to scroll down.
Question, there is a question that came in. How do you determine a person's credibility?
Whoa. Well, that's amazing. I think I'm going to leave that answer to the end, close to the end, because I'm going to be providing you with something where you can be sure how you're being perceived by others. So I'll address that later, and I think it'll be more timely as well.
All right, I wrote that one down just so we don't lose it. You say confidence, character is the C, more clarity of communication, communication, consistency, and again, character, consistency, the other C, consistency. Yeah, that one's coming up. Clarity and consistency are coming up.
Okay. You know what I love about the fact that all the answers have one thing in common, and that is they all start with C. Because sometimes you ask them, people come back with different letters.
They come back with not a C, even though you said, what could the third C be? Great. No, they've all come back with a C. We've got a good audience this morning.
Amazing crowd. Well done. All right, so let's move on. I'll tell you right now that some of you have the answer. And let me just click here. So credibility and competence, and the third C is coming. But let me just tell you first that it's a very rare C, in my opinion. I'm not sure if you guys would agree. It's rare in B&I. It's rare in the business world, because you may have experienced this before. You meet someone, a member, they're credible, they're competent, yet you don't fully understand what they do. You don't fully understand how to help them because they're not clear. Well done, guys. Those of you who guessed clarity. It is about communication. It's about being crystal clear, because I can know you, like you, and trust you. Credibility's there. You're competent, but I'm not clear what exactly you do. You may have seen some members when they stand up and speak, you know, your eyebrows start kind of dancing around, thinking like, I'm not understanding this person. You see people roll their eyes when the person's talking. I have been that person. I will admit that in my first year in B&I, I used to stand up and say, hi guys, I'm a chiropractor. We treat vertebral subluxation complex, which means we treat your histopathology, myopathology, neuropathology, and members would say to me, especially the mature ones, Odie, no one knows what the hell you're saying. We can't help you if we don't understand you. So I trust you. I trust you're good at your job, but I just don't get it. I don't really get what you do. I had a great conversation. So if I don't understand you, I can't help you. Of course, you don't understand me, you can't help me. I had a fantastic conversation with Tim Roberts, the national director. We spoke for about 30 minutes at the global convention in Thailand. And we're talking about this third C, clarity. I presented the 4 C's to him. And we're talking about, does it matter really what you do? You know, because we stand up. In fact, at a B&I meeting this morning, there was someone who did the 10-minute presentation, and they were explaining the process of what they do. And, you know, they went around a wheel, basically, explaining when they first meet a client what happens. And the question is, does it really matter? And when we say clarity, Tim and I agree that, yeah, it may be important to understand what you do, but we don't want to know the intricacies, the minutia, the nuances, that there's no way we can keep that all in our head with a chapter of even 20. It's hard to keep 19 other professions in your head when it's not what you do. So what really it comes down to is being clear about what members need to know to open doors for you. They need to know what to say so they can open doors for you, not necessarily what you do. There needs to be some level of understanding what you do, but the focus in your 60 seconds, in your feature presentations, in your one-to-ones is really teaching your sales team, as we call it in B&I, teaching your sales team what to say when they see opportunity for you. So here's some assumptions that we make. We assume that a credible person is competent. That's not necessarily true. We also can't assume that a competent person has clarity. In fact, you may notice that sometimes the more competent people are very unclear. Like the more competent they are, the less clear they are. I can think of many professors that come to mind. I don't know if any of professionals in your circles come to your mind right now, but this is the question that you want to ask yourself. Am I being clear? During my networking, am I being clear? During my presentations, weekly and feature, am I being crystal clear? I mean, there's people in terms of clarity that have an ask. They've taken the time to have an ask, and you can't even hear the ask, which that should be the clearest part of the presentation. I mean, you need to consider taking a nice deep breath and then projecting your ask. So we're sure that you're sure that everyone hears you. The next question is, how clear are you during your one-to-one presentations? Are you going into too much detail over what you do, or are you just highlighting the key points and the key things for members to remember so they can open doors for you? So here's clarity. So if you can establish credibility, competence, and clarity and meet this threshold, this is when you can move into the phase of profitability with your fellow members. So here we go. The C so far: credibility, competence, clarity, and the fourth C is, any guesses?
Consistency, consistency.
This is a beautiful C.
They're coming in as consistency. Character comes up again. Character, communications, commitment.
Yeah. Beautiful. These are all amazing C's, and I've considered many of these. And in fact, the 4 C's may grow to more C's. This particular C we've called connectiveness. And it's a recently coined term that's used to describe the quality and quantity of a person's connections to others. Connectiveness. So let's look at what this means. So think about it. Do you want to associate with well-connected people? I'm sure you have no allergy to that. I'm sure you have nothing against that. And the reason is because well-connected people can connect you to other people. They may know the people that in the Arab world, we call this wasta, which means, not to be confused with Rasta, as in the Jamaican Rastafarianism, but wasta with a W basically means that in order to get to this key person in this company, you need another person to get you there. He's the wasta that will get you there, the connector, if you will. It's usually taken in a negative, it's usually taken in a kind of a negative connotation in the Arab world, that, to beat the line, for example, you need a wasta. But I think it can be used in a positive sense in terms of connecting with people who can connect you to others. There's no doubt about it that, they say behind every successful man stands a woman. True. And maybe the reverse is true, that behind every successful woman stands a man. But one thing is for sure, that in front of every door of opportunity stands another human being. So consciously and or subconsciously, I believe you are observing and being observed for perceived level of connectivity. What is this person's level of connectivity, this new member who just joined? We're asking that, and people are asking that about us. I met a gal who was very well connected to the royal family here in the GCC. And I spoke to her about, in BNI, we have this concept of knowing someone, liking someone, and trusting someone. And we have to establish credibility before we can expect referrals to happen. And she said, and when I explained the 4 C's to her, she said, Odie, I think this is the most important C of all, because if I perceive someone to be well connected, that influences my ambition to want to get to know them, to want to get to like them, and to give them the opportunity to showcase their credibility. So the question is, connectivity is going to help you connect to other members. If members see you as well connected, they're going to want to rub shoulders with you. When visitors come and see you well connected, they're going to want to rub shoulders with you. When people perceive you as being well connected, they are more connected to your message. And in general, people want to network with well connected people. So let's do a quick review, guys. Credibility says, do they trust me? Competence says, do they trust I'm good at my job? Clarity says, do they understand how to sell me? And only in BNI can I say it that way. Do they know how to sell me? And connectivity says, do they want to rub shoulders with me?